If someone would have said that a $3 trillion company was going to be born in a garage, no one would have believed it. But history has favored the company that was born in the Jobs family garage, Apple, and on January 3, 2022, the company reached its greatest economic achievement. The stocks of the technology giant reached their maximum unit value, going up to $182.90. That made them exceed the value of $3 trillion. This means that if Apple was a country, it would have been ranked as the 8th country with the highest GDP in the world. On August 19, 2020, Apple also became the first company to be worth $2 trillion, and just 16 months later, they reached the new milestone of $3 trillion. A fascinating story that has inspired many, but leaves others wondering, how did it do it? Interested in finding out? If so, stay and watch this video. Moreover, we will explore what would have happened if you had invested in Apple before, and if you still have time to do so to gain incredible profits through its stocks. Hello everyone and welcome to Novarise Invest, your channel for financial education. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more videos like this. Apple, innovation and great marketing. Apple has come a long way since 1976, when Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak began working on the Apple I, a computer that was designed to be part of homes, even though that idea was unthinkable for society. Years and years of innovation and dozens of different products have had to be released for Apple to become the phenomenon that it is today. During the fourth fiscal quarter of 2021, the company reported an all-time sales record of $83.4 billion, which represents an increase of 29% compared to the same figures from a prior year. The pandemic benefited Apple, particularly due to the even greater social dependence on electronic devices such as telephones and computers. Throughout history, Apple has managed to adapt very well to global technological needs. This started with computers, followed by their innovative iPod. Then the first iPhone arrived. They also created the iPad, and that is how this technology company was able to create extremely high standards that other manufacturers have tried to achieve without success. What does this whole range of products sound like? Diversification. Something that we mention on multiple occasions to achieve financial success. Apple never stays idle. The company constantly works hard to meet consumer needs. Of course, Apple's business model isn't just limited to selling high-quality products. Its success goes much further than that, and this is how they manage to become part of our daily lives. The business model behind Apple's success. Diversification has been fundamental for Apple, and understanding the needs of its users has been its greatest success. Year after year, they innovate with new products that have made the company's value and income grow. Even though their sales were driven by the iPhone over the years, Apple understood that they would stagnate in the market if they didn't diversify their offer, as happened in 2018, when the sale of their phones fell by 15%, forcing the brand to reinvent itself. Although this represented a great concern for the company and its investors, the CEO of Apple, Tim Cook, promised the company long-term growth, since that is how the internal goals were set, and this did come true. Today, Apple not only focuses on innovating with its cell phones, but also added something to its offer that skyrocketed its value, and these are services. From a storage service to an endless music library, and its still growing streaming service. These services currently constitute a business model that has sustained their sales, even though many of their clients do not have the economic capacity to pay more than $1,000 for an iPhone. Apple's growth projection is such that the American investment fund company, Morgan Stanley, forecasted that by 2025, Apple TV will exceed profits of more than $4.4 billion. AirPods, Apple Watch, Apple Pencil, iPhone Mini, new Macs, and even a virtual gym called Apple Fitness Plus. The company has done everything to achieve the success they enjoy as a $3 trillion company. But how is this value calculated? We will explain it to you below. How Apple became the first company to be worth $3 trillion. The value of a company does not refer precisely to its assets and income, but rather to its market capitalization. To obtain this amount, you simply have to multiply the number of stocks that Apple has in circulation by the unit price of each of those stocks. According to the Nasdaq stock market, on January 3, 2022, Apple reached the maximum historical price of $182.9 per share. In total, Apple has over 16 billion shares on the stock market. And by multiplying these two values, the result of the company's stock market price for January 3rd stood at over $3 trillion. This is how Apple became the first company to be worth $3 trillion. And even though the price of its stocks fell slightly, the company's projection continued to grow in value. Investing in Apple. Is it worth it? Apple is emerging as a company that projects great market growth by 2022, especially after crossing the $3 trillion line. Even though the value of the stock has dropped a bit, large investment firms on Wall Street continue to have their eyes on the company. This is the case of the private investment firm Wedbush Securities. One of their investment analysts, Dan Ives, told Business Insider that they are betting on Apple stocks thanks to the demand for the iPhone 13, in addition to its acceptance in the Chinese market. According to the expert, Apple has gained about 250 basis points of market share in China over the past 12 months, particularly thanks to the launch of 5G products. The newspaper El País Financiero of Spain also shared reasons why Apple is a good company to invest in today. And one of them is that, since 2012, the company has been providing its shareholders a return of $450,000 million, composed of share repurchases and dividends. Buying back Apple stocks allows investors to get more stake in the company without having to buy more stocks. On top of that, the number of buybacks went from $29 billion in 2016 to $66 billion in 2019, and the dividends offered by Apple also went from 1% to 6%. By 2007, just as Steve Jobs launched the first iPhone, a share of Apple was worth $4.36. Imagine your return today if you had invested $1,000 in stocks back then. Apple is undoubtedly one of the most popular companies in the world. The icon of the apple reminds us of who's behind it, and for many, Apple means quality and innovation. For investors, Apple represents a safe haven during the uncertainty of the global market, and this is how multiple investors consulted by CNBC described the company. Apple's future is promising. Analyst Tony Seconhai, a fellow at wealth management firm Bernstein, said Apple is expected to contribute to buy back shares for the next 5 years, which would boost its dividend per share above 10% a year without taking on debt. Reuters also reported that Apple investors remain confident in the company, especially given its possible venture into the markets such as automated cars and the metaverse. Will we see a huge growth of Apple in 2022? Will they also become the first company to reach the value of $4 trillion? Will their new releases catapult their profits? Will they conquer the Chinese market? Many of these questions will define the future of the company and many investors, and we will continue to monitor the progress of Apple to keep you informed. Now, what do you think about this? Are you going to invest in Apple? Are you already investing in Apple? Let me know. And since you're here, do not forget to check this episode that's gonna help you complement everything you just learned today. Take care. Bye-bye.